welcome back, guys. Hello to Fabian. Hello, Captain Chaos. Hello, Cargo Pilot. Ulas, hello. Right, yeah, just currently trying to spawn in here, but I'm not seeing anyone else around. Hopefully, I'll start seeing others. So we have with us MAN, we have Reynolds, we have Jeremiah and Klaus.
Hi, good evening.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, hi.
Yeah, that's a very small apron indeed. Oh, there we go. I can see people. Yeah. Oh, yeah, now I can see lots of people. Wow. Is it raining for you guys as well? That's horrible.
It is, yes.
Oh my god.
You need to stop the engines to request ground services.
Yeah, let me get panel states, turn around with APU. So welcome back. Yeah, we're flying in Ecuador on the Ecuador One Engine Out tour, and today is the third last flight. And we're flying from Sierra Echo Tango uniform up to Sierra Echo Golf uniform. So mass and balance, we're going to go load aircraft instant so that we get going. Now the weather though, we did see, the weather should be fairly close to minimum. Let's have a, so we're in live weather currently, and we may have to switch to manual weather later. Broken 2,600 broken. Well, we'll see how it's depicted. It's quite warm there, 29 degrees. And Reynolds sets runway 03. And RMP approach or?
RMP approach.
Yeah, so RMP 03. Oh, excellent. Nice. Good. So let me go and have a look here. Let's go to table and then go to Atsu here this side. So I've got my. I do have my. Set up, but just get my joystick cam in here. Joystick cam. That's alright. And then there it is. Cool. Working. So let's go scene menu. Flight in it. Request. Good database until 18th of February. So now go init request on the left side as well. And we are Avianca 711. Charts, airports, flights, unload, import, simrave. That I'll show the briefing here. But that's the old one. Yeah, so here we are located. We have 2,400 meters for departure. Departure runway 06 Ipales 2. So we go out 5.5 left turn to Ipales or Ipiales, and then from there flight plan route. Cargo Pilot think about building 2 home cockpits. Really? What kind of base setup? So what would be your hardware base setup for that? Like you know, I have the Monster Tech MTS. It is expensive, yeah. Surprised even considering that. Good. So, quickly show you the OFP here. So we need a flight time of about 45 minutes, not too long. Sierra Echo Mike Tango is the alternate. About 5 tons of fuel required. If we go according to live weather, then we have a volcanic ash segment. Dangerous area here. Volcanic ash cloud observed.
Get smart cost.
Yeah, it's on. All good.
Okay.
And between surface.
Are you sure?
Flight 160. Let me check again.
Can't see you on the one engine odd page.
Oh, hang on. The thing is, can you get to the page, Bernard, and reset the flight, please? Because I can't. It says for me, it says completed.
Hang on.
I know I filed a report manually, but maybe I filed the wrong routing there.
I can do this. Give me a second.
Yeah, thank you much. Can you give me a quick short guide to VOR? Well, let me know what you want to know about VORs before I talk too much about stuff you already know. Good. Right, so we have light rain here. Broken 2000, overcast 8000, 3000 meters, and the forecast for Sierra Echo Golf Uniform is okay. 220 at 6. Broken cloud layer, but looking at the arrival there, so we should be arriving via Darkup 1. So it's via Darkup there. NZ Umder, and then from there Umder. Let's check RMP 03. So there with Umder, then we go Iroda, and then Seldi, and then runway 03. Yeah, so that's not too critical there. That looks alright. Good. So that's what I'm going to program here. The cost index, according to the flight plan, is 15.
Oh, black box. It's reset. You have to go to the One Engine Odd website and book the leg again.
Yep.
Then you can start Smart Pass.
I much appreciate that. And so leg is booked. Smart Pass. Starting that. So cruise level is going to be 340. Oh, just update. Okay, interesting. So 340. Temperature up there is minus 40 only. So a lot warmer. The ground temperature is plus 13, not minus 4. Plus 13. Good. And zero fuel according to the load sheet. Let's see. AOC menu, received messages. That's the load sheet here, so we have 55.6. With CG of 30 watt/3. Just seeing the cabin output blinking again. There's about 9,200 feet here. And 5 tons block fuel. So let's put 5 tons in here. So alternate fuel for Sierra Echo Mike Tango is 1.1 tons. Looking good. Let's load the wind data. cruise wind, descent wind, all in, fantastic. Flight plan departure 06, EP2 insert, SEGU arrival, RP3, there it is, Dakar 1, and then approach via Umder, insert. So I need to install smart cars here. Okay, I agree. Install. Thank you. Secondary copy active. Quick return here to SETU. Take the NDB to 4, although I mean no star. No via. Cool. Right. Last but not least, let's get the performance. Ugh. Runway definitely wet. Sync the load sheet, sync the weather. Calculate full length. Flaps 1. Speeds 26, 27, 31. Send that to the MCU. Send. And no need for engine anti-ice. These temperatures. And then. Looks good. Oh, it's a Toga power takeoff. Okay. Yeah, Toga power. Yeah. But A319 should be an issue. I'm going to go straight up to level 340. We're already at 9,000 here, so 340 constraints. And then do we need... So VOR, sorry for the Banan. You asked how to use VOR on simple approach. Well, a lot. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Sync, try that again. Okay, aircraft's too heavy for a wet runway. Lol. Even with flap 3. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's the problem with the high elevation there. Oh, 50, so 59.5 is not much. So it's not much that we have to...
Just out.
Yeah, good. Oh, actually, no, we're weighing 60.5. Yeah, about a ton less. Good, so let's take some weight out. So let's reset everything. So I'm going to put 120 passengers. And fuel. It's 5 tons, wasn't it? Yeah, 5 tons. Apply, load the aircraft. Load aircraft, instant. So now 56.5. Come on, now we can do it. Calculate. Yeah, flap 2, flex 30 even. I'm gonna go still with a forced toga, yes, okay. We'll do that. Packs on. Yeah, that's fine. Good, so regarding the VORs, honestly, these days, most departures are RNF departures. So on the 319, 320, 321, if you want to select a VOR manually, for example here, it's India, Papa India, just type it in again. So that it's written in bold, in big letters, and now that's manual. So now it won't change that automatically for you. And I can't remember any raw data VOR departures. I don't know how many flights I've done now. So you won't really get into that corner these days that you have the raw data departure. Okay, so cargo pilot, you think about Mosa, Thrustmaster, start probably Whirlpool. A more focused spacecraft. Okay. No worries, cargo pilot. Have a good one. Stay safe. See you soon. Good. So now, what I need to do again is have a look at the... Wow, it's... Brendel, did you have to install smart cars again? Or update? It's taken years. Still...
Update is quite slow, but it works.
Okay. Well, it's still updating for me.
Okay. Yeah, if it takes too long, then ignore it and do a manual booking after the flight.
Right, we'll get these values in now. So 51.1. So we are lighter now. 51.1, 51.5. CG is 25.9. 5 tons block is still the same. That's finished now. Okay, fantastic. Set. And performance. Let's do that again here. Send it in. Calculate. Okay, so now it's flaps 1 with full power. Send. There we go. Now it's flaps 1. Take 11.5. Oh man, that was a bad idea with smart pass installation. What's going on? Sorry guys, give me a second. So the problem I have right now is that smart car seems to be hanging somewhere in the system. And slowing down the whole system at the moment. I can't find the...
Had that problem.
Huh?
For me, it worked without any problems, the update.
So I'm looking at the processes and... So in the lower taskbar, it's even showing the symbols still from smart cars. I don't know why. And I can't go, for example, if I want to go to the Windows symbol, nothing happens. Search bar, I can't type anything in. Hey Steve on final greetings. Have a nice flight. A350, nice. Where's the processes there?
Da unten rechts aus, wo diese kleinen Symbole von den gestarteten Programmen sind. Kann es sein, dass es da dabei ist? Dann kannst du rechte Maustaste und Beenden machen.
Ja, nee, das geht ja nicht. Also wenn ich jetzt da draufklicke, ne? Egal wo ich draufklicke, es passiert nichts. Also ich kriege da keine Menüauswahl, wenn ich Rechtsklick mache.
Seltsam. Ja. Also bei mir ging das problemlos, sorry.
Ja, das klar. Aber ich weiß nur nicht, weil auch bei den Prozessen, wenn ich jetzt Task Manager Prozesse sehe, ich sehe da nirgendwo die Installation-Sachen, die ich rausschmeißen könnte.
Ist denn das Programm irgendwie noch aktiv? Hängt das noch da rum oder was?
Also unten in der Taskbar ist das Symbol noch da von SmartCast. Also 2 Stück sogar.
Okay.
Wenn ich es in der Suche mache, bei Prozessen suche,
Welcome aboard the Captain Black
SmartCast taucht da nicht auf.
subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin?
Ja, da weiß ich jetzt auch nicht Bescheid. Ich muss dann Simulator neu starten.
Das mal ganz kurz. Ich habe jetzt gerade...
Hello, Black Box. I can't believe it's been 20 months.
Oh my god, Heavy Equation, thank you so much for the 20 months indeed. Heavy Equation, how are you doing? Thank you so much, and thanks for the long-term support as well. So here's install device, install service. No, that's something else, right? Right. I'm gonna just leave it as it is. Hopefully, it won't interfere too much with the system here. Let's start the engines right here. So
The sim is still running without stutters, right?
yeah, hopefully now. At the moment it is.
Yeah.
But we'll see once we
Okay.
start moving. So 51, 57, that's good. And then let's... read a checklist. Checklist. 320 more. Heavy Equation, how have you been? And Heavy Equation, what kind of sim do you enjoy right now? So gear pins covers removed. Fuel quantity is 4,980 kilograms balanced. We have seat belts on. ADIRS is nav, and bar ref is 10. Let's check it quickly. 2024, okay. Yeah, Ulas, I checked, and I also checked under I searched for that. So that's 1028. 1028. So Kinch 1028 set checked, and then we'll do the before start items. Let's close the doors. And services. Doors closed. Shocks off. Nice. Cool. Then we go. Fuel pumps on. Get the beacon on. Transponder. Pretend 2000 auto before start checks. Park brakes set. Take speed thrust. We have 111, 120, 124, and toga power. Windows doors closed, and the beacon is on before start check is complete. Right, I tell you what, we won't do pushback. Or shall we do pushback? Yeah, we'll do a quick pushback. Locking gear. Fantastic. Face East. Good. So we just start up the engines. So we have good pressure, few pumps are on. So we'll do engine 1 start. So how do we find this airport? Well, Brenold here has made many tours for the One Engine Out virtual airline. And this airport is one of those airports along the tour here in Ecuador. Alright, good start. Engine 2 start. Park rate is set. Then we'll do... Confirm.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and the brace position, which you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft. The cabin...
Okay, I mean, had 57.5 and still had flex, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the CFMs that are a bit weak today, I don't know. Good. So let's do all the items. Flaps 1. APU bleed, APU off, and then set the trim up 1.5. Flight controls. Forward up. Forward down. Forward left. Oops. Good. Right, preset loaded, rudder for left, rudder for right. Alright. So let's see, where's the chap? There he is. Very good. We'll read the after start checklist. Anti-ice off, not required. Plus 13 degrees Celsius. ACOM status checked. Pitch trim up 1.5. Rudder trim neutral. After start checklist completed. Good. Let's try that one more time here. Off we go. Strobes can go straight on because we'll go right onto the runway. Needs a lot of power, high altitude. Brake check. Brakes are working. And we'll go backtrack now.
Really bad here. Flight level 300 and still in the clouds.
Okay. Quick backtrack. Cabin should be ready hopefully soon. That's not ready. Here comes auto brake max. Radar PWS goes on. Auto. Yeah, a lot of rain. It's a very shallow run. Well, runway width isn't very large, so. Takeoff config.
The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Thank you. So, taxi checklist. Flight controls check config 1 plus F. Radar PWS on and auto. Engine mode selector is normal. And ECAM will take off no go. So there's one more thing I want to do quickly. So you guys are probably fairly far ahead of me. So I'll try to expedite.
The first one is maybe already in the descent.
Oh god. But time-wise, we're doing good. 22:30. It's kind of weird. So I look at my taskbar. What o'clock? It says 22:11. It doesn't move anymore. Crazy.
What's your navigation display look like?
A lot of rain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, ripped windows. Well, smart cars completely ripped windows, yeah. At least the sim is running, I mean, that's one good thing.
I hope the sim will survive until you land.
Yeah, should do. Okay, so, let me just stop here for a second before we depart. Chart, so we're flying straight out, 5.5 India, Papa India, left, back to the field. Good. And then one more thing though, not sure why. Yeah, so that's the thing. Good, okay, so let's try that.
Valet is kind of wrong. So still shows Vienna to Tivat.
See if that's me allows me to change that.
Maybe it's because of the problems.
Could be. Let's see, I'll try to get it changed.
Okay.
Let's see if that works. No. Oh, now it changed. Okay, no, there was a slight delay.
Yeah,
Hey, Joey.
it's correct.
Yeah, now it's
But the
correct.
temperatures, I cannot leave them. 12 degrees.
Let's try this. Talk about. Take off. Thrust set. Right. Horrible weather. Thrust climb out blue. 34,000. So I'm going to get the terrain display there, and also constraints on this side. Yeah, so we need 11.3 here and 13.7 there. So this is something regarding terrain. I can see here, still amber. So high altitude, you can feel the aircraft struggling a bit to gain altitude. So let's get flap 0, speeds check, flap 0. Then I'm going to get myself 210 on the speed here. Autopilot is on. So that I'm going to get a bit better climb rate there. And Stefan, hello. Oh, nice. It's schade, dass so schlechtes Wetter ist. So it's a shame it's such bad weather, Stefan. But we did some other flights over the last weeks. And there we had some better weather. No advantage with add-on airports, Jeremiah? Okay. Good, so now we're above safe altitudes here. That's all fine. But look at that, 16,000, this is the MSA. That's crazy. And then 18,100 here. Crazy. That's why it does make sense to go selected speed. Just let the aircraft climb quickly. What temperature do we have? +9. Okay, so now it is worth getting the engine anti-ice on here. Still out of clouds. And we're passing transition. Standard set. I'm going to give myself direct walk on here already. So to save a bit of time. Insert. And then, also, we are going to get performance. Costnex 99. So we got the 18,000, well 19,000 now. Oops, hang on, that's wrong. And so go back to managed speed. So look at the speed, 329 knots now. With Costnex 99. And now we're zooming. Warp 5, engage. So landing at, let's check, 22:17, so only about 35-40 minutes. I don't know what happens if Winwing actually made a overhead panel for the A320. Brennell, do you have any hardware like autopilot panel for the A320 or something?
No, I haven't. I'm changing aircraft so much, so often, so that I don't think a special panel for a special aircraft will be good for me.
Okay. Yeah.
And also, I have no space to place all that hardware.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it does take a lot of space.
If you want to buy a overhead tunnel, then think about how to fasten this thing. You need a kind of a can't explain it in
Yeah,
English.
no, like a rail system.
Also ein Gerüst.
Yeah, so like a overhead rail. I mean, the thing is, so behind my monitor, there is a metal frame which holds the monitor, and so I could fasten a rail on top of that. I think that would be possible. Divorce, perhaps. And Emma says, so I can tell you what happens in this case. Well, the thing is exactly the problem that Brennell just said. It's a lot of hardware workarounds to get the overhead panel installed, and then it'll only work for the A320, A3, maybe even A330 in some parts, but usually just A320, right? It's just one aircraft type, which limits you somehow. So theoretically, I don't know, I probably would leave it mounted, even if I'm flying a 737 or something else, where I don't use the overhead panel. But, yeah. I suppose. Yeah, that would be a tough choice to make, to be honest. Tough choice. Wow, look at that, a lot of red echoes there in the south. Definitely some thunderstorms there. Okay, here it's like a lot of rain. These are thunderstorms. Yeah, just barely making up the clouds now. 18. TAT plus 18 degrees. What? I know I'm flying fast, but S18 minus 11, TAT plus 17. Huh? Well, in this case, engine RTI's off. Let's get seatbelts off. Yesterday, an interesting phenomena I saw yesterday. So, as I mentioned, we were in what's called the Harz. So it's a mountain range. It's not that high. It's like 1,100 meters, something, the highest mountain peak. But for northern Germany, that's fairly high, right? And so we stayed at a city called Goslar, and I think Goslar is like 300 meters or something above sea level, and then it was like pretty much, well, +1, maybe +2 degrees there. Not really warm, quite cold. But as we drove up, and we had a high pressure area, obviously, so beautiful weather, high pressure area. And an interesting thing to watch. So my friend had, as most casters, they have a temperature sensor indication, right? So like +1, +2 in Goslar. And then we drove up. And the weirdest thing, again, as we drove up, you would normally think the temperature goes down. But the temperature actually increased. And as we reached the point where we parked the car and went for a hike, I think it was like 800 meters there, temperature was +7. So it increased by 5 degrees as we drove up, in altitude, which is then, of course, because of that inversion layer, right? So high pressure area often causes inversion, temperature inversion. And it was funny to see that yesterday on the temperature scale. Invest in the complete jet cockpit that you can spare the most. That's true. Oh. But I mean, nonetheless, the setup right now is a lot of fun. Just saying, like, this is nice, very kind of immersive. Love it. I saw someone else has another display where it allows him to have, you know, the PFD, the ND, and the engine instruments, ECAM showing. So it's like a, it's not a big display, but at least you could get those three panels there on that external display. But I'm not sure I'm not sure why I would need that really, because for me, I've got a TV screen. I can see the displays there, and if I'm using head tracking, then what's wrong with the reset though? Let's really see. Yeah, something alpha, exactly. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Is it? Oh, it's touchscreen. Oh, I didn't know that it's touchscreen. Ah, okay. Well, then that makes more sense. But then again, so the thing is this: so if it's touchscreen, would it make more sense to have like the overhead panel on such a screen? Maybe tilted up, 90 degrees. So have a portrait mode, and then have like the overhead panel on there. Alright. If it's touchscreen, that would make more sense in my opinion.
But it's not the same feeling, like when you don't have the haptic of the button of overhead panel. You have simply a completely flat space and only very slow to the buttons.
Yep. But I mean, like if you go through the trouble of getting a display for your nav display and PFD, why? I just don't see the point in that. The Fabian says 2 touchscreen displays for the PFD and the upper. Okay. So that means, do you have like your viewpoint then different? Like on the screen you'd be like more like this. Hazel, look. So that way you just have a wider screen view, and then okay, so that's what you do. Okay, I understand. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so like yeah. Okay, Fabian. Yeah, okay, I understand. Oh yeah, and so Fabian, again, have to hand it to him. So Fabian, I love his love for detail, and so we talked about what must have been the stream on was it Monday we streamed? Yeah, I think Monday we streamed. So we're doing a discussion about green dot speed, and then we came to discussion about max angle of climb and max rate of climb. I know it's very theoretical. So for me, it was like more for the practical reason of trying to find an example where in real life you would have to think about max rate of climb or max angle of climb, right? And so the only practical example that I have is that you just departed and you're climbing through, let's say, 5,000 feet, and then you hear ATC tell you whatever the call sign, give me your best rate of climb. Okay, so the question is, okay, it's a bit silly to say best, what is best rate of climb, right? But practically, what option would you have in an A320, let's say? So let's say you have a expedite button here, right? This one here. And so when you press that, what it does, it takes the commanded speed, so that magenta speed cursor, down to green dot, right? And not every airline allows their pilots to use expedite button for climb or descent, and there's airlines that don't even have that button anymore on the autopilot panel. Right? But let's say you have it and you're allowed to use it, and you get the clearance instruction, you know, give me your max rate. Now, by definition, green dot is the, you know, the best lift to drag ratio speed, and that's a speed where we fly normally holding patterns with, because that means that you have the least amount of drag with the max amount of lift at that speed. So that's the most economical in the sense of when you don't have to get anywhere fast, right? So when you're just flying circles, you want to minimize your fuel flow, then you fly green dot speed. And then I don't know. So for my out of my logic, I said, well then green dot should be best rate of climb, which is not correct. So by pure definition, green dot is actually giving you the best angle of climb, while best rate of climb would be the speed that is given to you if you get cost next 0, right? And then look at your speed. So this would be the best rate of climb speed. So the best vertical speed in the climb. So I'll give you a quick example here. I hope that's connecting. Okay, so the best so you have two curves here, right? So think of it this way, the best angle, right? The best angle of climb speed gives you the biggest altitude gain at the lowest horizontal distance. Okay. While best of rate will get you, let's say you want to climb to a certain flight level, okay? Let's say you want to get to a certain flight level. So the best rate of climb will get you there fastest. Okay? You're going to cover more distance over ground by doing so compared to best angle of climb, right? But if you want to time your climb to a certain flight level, then the best rate of climb will get you there fastest. Okay? While the best angle means that you're going to climb higher without at the expense of so much horizontal distance. So let's say you have a certain certain mountain range there, okay? The best rate of climb will get you into the mountains, while the best angle would keep you clear. So I hope, Fabian, I got it right this time. Yeah, my theory lessons have been too far in the past. Yeah, and then again the practical. So I'm coming back to this. The practical thing is though, if ATC instructs you, so let's say I'm flying around at 5,000 feet, right, and then I hear my call sign and ATC tell me, give me your best rate, right? So what I do, maybe not even press expedite button, but let's say I'm flying 250 knots, right? Because I'm below 10,000 feet. Then I go selected speed, right? I go this, and then I'll dial down the speeds at max climb power. Means I'm trading kinetic energy and I'm changing kinetic energy into potential energy. So initially, I'll get a very high climb rate as the speed comes back, And then when I'm at, let's say, green dot speed, then the aircraft will lower the nose quite sharply again. However, then when I'm at green dot speed, I'm not giving you the best rate of climb. I'm giving you the best angle of climb, right? So it's a bit of a controversy. But you know, when I hear these kind of instructions, for me, I would say I'm thinking about ATC tries to deconflict me to some other traffic, right? Okay, Fabian, you agree? Fantastic. Yeah, Fabian, again, thank you so much for being persistent, because, like I said, you know, over time, there's certain theory knowledge pilots tend to lose if we don't get ourselves confronted with it from time to time, right? And performance for us airline pilots is this, right? So literally, you know, it's a very comfortable method for us, right? Everything we need, really, we want to get is in the FMS these days, right? So depending on, you know, how fast you want to fly, the most economical speed you want to fly. If for an engine failure, we just say, okay, engine out. It gives us the optimal flight level, the optimum speed, etc., right? So there's a lot of theory knowledge that goes astray. Yes, I did. Yep. So we're flying the RP approach. I can show you guys the plan mode here. And so we can see, yeah, descent takes us straight towards the under, fix, base, final. We have the wind data. We have 125 miles to go. I've put in again FSLabs 99. So it's a fast descent, but obviously as we're faster, we create more drag on the aircraft, so we'll descend a bit steeper, so that the top descent comes later now. It is odd. MAN, I fully agree with you, and I honestly, sometimes I do wonder as well, why a fully managed approach, LNAV, VNAV, would give you a higher decision height or decision altitude compared to just an LNAV approach. I'm not sure if it's a typo. Yeah, it's weird. Voyager, sorry for that. Honestly, so MAN, I wouldn't be surprised if that is a typo.
Good night.
Voyager, mach's gut. Hoffentlich am Sonntag dann. Have a nice week. So, I'm trying to think of a logical reason. LNAV, VNAV, fully matched. And then LNAV? I don't know, honestly. Because, you know, so while it is expected that you do a continuous descent final approach, you know, as often as you can, you know, this will give you a vertical guidance, a programmed 3-degree profile, right? So theoretically, you know, you've got your obstacle below you, but since it's a 3-degree profile, you fly down, you know, according to the VNAV profile, it should give you more clearance, right? While if you have an LNAV minimum, 700 feet, you could go, theoretically, you could go down steeper, down to that minimum. So potentially, there could be more obstacles in the way that you have to consider. And then normally, it means that the LNAV minimum is higher than the LNAV VNAV minimum. Yeah, but again, I mean, you are correct. Oh yes, you are correct. Yeah. The thing is, so the weird thing is, that's a great observation, Fabian. Fantastic observation. The thing is, though, that usually pilots add 50 feet themselves, right? There's a lot of airlines that tell their pilots on a non-precision approach they have to add the 50 feet. Now, I've already said that at my airline, Lufthansa, that addition was already set on the charts. So I'm just wondering, is it like always 50 feet? And then the question is, do airline pilots at certain airlines on top of that have to add another 50 feet? And the idea behind that is, let me just start descent here. So the idea behind that is, as you are in the approach, right, so you're in the approach, so you're flying along on a path to your minimums, and let's say this is your, let's say that again. So here's your minimums, right? And then as you come down, it is assumed that because of the inertia of the aircraft and the reaction time, as you start your missed approach, right, you would dip below the minimums. Right, so let's say you have like today, you have a minimums of 700 feet, right? So if you waited until you saw the 700 feet on the altimeter and then start your go around, you would dip below the minimums. So that's why some airlines would tell their pilots, if the chart says 700 feet, you add 50 feet or 30 feet. I don't know what the value would be, right? So that means that even though the chart says 700, you would dial in 750 feet as the minimum, right? And then as you go through the altimeter 750, you start your missed approach, and that way you don't dip below minimums. Right. Okay, for the speed. Let's get some speed brakes out. More drag. Down we go, 150. But Fabian, again, a big round of applause for that. That's a great observation. That it seems like here that LNAV does not require, it doesn't have a VNAV path, right? So you would have to level off at 700 and fly that until you miss the approach point and then go around. While if you're on a 3-degree profile, you cannot go down to 700 as you are still descending. You're not capturing the 700 feet altitude. You'll be going through it, then start to go around and dip below the 700. So that's why, yeah, LNAV, VNAV, if you're using an autopilot vertical mode to descend on, then that will add to 50 feet, yeah. Right, cool. Gotta love how we learn together, right? Excellent. Love that. Yeah, but a LNAV VNAV is a 3D approach. If you're flying it geometrically with a vertical path, it's a 3D approach. While the LNAV minimum is a 2D approach. Hey, Fabian, are you an instructor already? Or are you planning to become an instructor? Because I think really you should become an instructor. Because you're so motivated to go really in depth and, you know, keep asking yourself the correct questions, like why is it like this, and then you research and Joey, yeah, absolutely. And again, it's often it's knowledge that you've had in the past, but because you haven't touched it in years, you've never come across it again. There's some certain knowledge things that you lose, and that's something I've talked about many times that that airline pilots fight with, right? Now, given, you know, if you are an instructor, then you have to teach that, right? And then you come across it regularly. So, you know, that's a plus if you are an instructor pilot. Let's quickly into the well, I'm not surprised they're trying to hire you. Yeah, good, nice, good to know. Have you guys landed already? So we've got facility showers 06.
Ended. Just landed.
Okay, just landed. And are you happy?
No, not very happy, because I got some downdrafts quick shot for the runway, lost many an altitude, had 4 reds, and then the landing was not safe.
Okay. So we're going to descend now to 8,000.
For me, it was a typical A319 landing.
Ah, okay, I understand. Yeah. I know what you mean.
320.
I had a nice landing, but it was very challenging as there was a shift in winds like 1,200 feet above the runway.
Okay.
So from steady left 12 knots, it went to the right side and 25 knots, and yeah, also a little bit of up and down drafts. So IRL, it would have been a go around. Also the landing was then nice in the end.
Okay. Good. Thanks for the heads up, and I'll try to be prepared. Wonder if the weather is the change shifting winds, is that due to weather or to rain? So runway 3, I'm gonna put this to wet. The METAR. And we'll do flat 4. Landing rate currently it's giving me 54.5. So we have available 2,680. Let's do our medium. A bit more buffer there. That's the charts. So the approach, right? I'm going to fly this accordingly. 2.5 at the Aurora, initial fix, final approach fix, sell the 1700, then 3 degree down. Yeah, we'll fly this fully managed. El Navina. Assuming we have 0.3 accuracy, which we should, and temperature's fine. So we can vacate Charlie, otherwise it's Alpha full length, and there's the terminal. Start that. Right, let's get some more speed brakes out. Down we go to 4,000. Transition today is... Oh wow, it's a really low altitude disregard. We'll go stay on standard here. Transition out to 3,000 feet. Oh. Hey Stefan, sorry, so somebody was writing earlier about Ecuador as well. Missed that. Paola. But I don't speak Portuguese. Sorry for that. As volado hacia... Well, if Bruno were here, he could translate. El Puerto dentro la ciudad pasar. So, like, is it Spanish? Because he's got the... Okay. So, have I traveled... It's like, have I traveled to Quito city in the past? Is that what it's asking? So the answer would be no, unfortunately not. Yeah, Fish Cup, yeah, so it is. Okay. Yeah, thank you. No, unfortunately not. Never been to Quito, IRL, no. I would love to. Speed brakes in. Dankeschön, Stefan, ja. Nee, leider nicht. So, no, unfortunately not. Right, let's go auto brake medium. Then the rest is programmed. Minimums is missing. Minimums for the, well, that was 750, wasn't it? Yeah, that's it. Right, so let's do the checklist. Let's go with approach checklist power ref. Oh, we can't. We don't have power ref set yet. So we have to delay the checklist. But I'm going to take out a bit of speed here to 20 knots. We'll do. Let's get some speed brakes out. The RMP, I mean, the only thing you have to consider is whether or not you're flying it fully managed LNAV VNAV, so 3D approach, meaning with lateral and vertical guidance, or if you're just flying it with lateral guidance, because that will then determine your minimum. So I'm flying it fully managed LNAV VNAV, so the approach mode I'll use, and so I'm going to use 750 for the minimums. And one thing you have to look at is your notes here to see what has to be working. The accuracy normally standard-wise is 0.3 nautical miles.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for landing.
So you have two GPS systems, left and right. Here's left, accuracy currently is 0.03, required 0.3, and we have 0.03, same on the other side. So that is checked. Good accuracy. And so the RMP approach these days are becoming standard. Activate approach phase here. So we have the LDAF, VDAF bars. Speed brakes in. And Vandalay, what are you struggling with? Maybe that way I can help you a bit better. Good weather here. Okay, now we can go 1008 down to 2,500 feet. So we have vertical speed, alt blue 2,500, max speed to 10 there. Interesting scenery here. So coming from a very mountainous area. No, so Vandalay, you are correct. There used to be a checklist. And maybe some airlines, I don't know, maybe some airlines still use a checklist. There used to be a checklist that we had to go through. Exactly, that's probably company specific. And it changed for us as well. So I remember the first day, so 2012, I changed from 737 onto the Airbus. There was flaps 1. And back then, yes, there was a checklist we had to go through. But then they scrapped it. And then it was like optional. Love the scenery. So the mountains in the background there. Beautiful. But we're already fairly low down. Landing elevation is pretty much sea level. Okay, down we go to 1700. Here comes flaps 2. Speed check flaps 2. Speed managed. Now we get some speed brakes out. Well, it's 5 miles. That's right. Now let's go 170. Start this out. So one important thing for RMP approaches, if you use it with vertical guidance, you have to be at the final approach altitude. So 1700 is mandatory. They flew with emblem to Guayaquil, okay. Right, let's go gear down. Sports arms.
$2,500.
Check. Now I'm going to use vertical speed to get me down to 1700. Speed managed. Flaps 3, speed checked. The reason being is, in order to use the VNAV approach mode, you should not capture it from above, right? Because that can lead the autopilot doing really crazy stuff. So you want to be below the descent path and then intercept that descent path like a normal glide slope path from below. See the runway, flaps full, speed check, flaps full. Landing checklist, EQM landing, no blue. Good. I'm going to press the approach button now. So now we have alt star, approach nav, final blue. Missed approach will be 3000. Alt star. Beautiful. Alt, now come down to 3000, missed approach. Here comes VDEF. Descent point check. Blue arrow going down, correct. As it should be. And final approach. Manual thrust. You don't have to go manual thrust, but I just do it. Oh no, bot. Yeah, you're right. Oh, thanks for the heads up. Hold on. Now it's free. Yeah, thanks for the reminder. Now this is weird. So look at the pitch, and we're accelerating. Even though we're just doing 8, well now we're doing 900 feet per minute. We've got gear out, we've got the flaps full, and it's still increasing in speed. Now those pitch power values are not correct. Wind 7 knots. So let's go 95. So
1000.
let's check. Now that we're using vertical guidance, we can leave the crossbar on, so the flight director's on. Yeah, there's no drag, it seems. Look at that.
100 above.
Idle power. Yeah, and contrary to you guys, I have no big wind shifts. Yeah, it's like, yeah, so, well, we would have to divert MAN, right? Because I can't fly the approach.
500.
Now the speed is coming back ever so slightly. There we go. Let's take the flight director off. Heading truck on. Yeah, that was like idle power
100.
all the way down. Now just 35%.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Spoilers. Go screen. Descent. 153. Okay, I'll take that. And we go to the left. What's happening with my auto brakes? Blimey. Come on. And it says config not. Strange. So I take Charlie. Yeah, for an A319, not gonna lie, A319 landing is actually pretty good for me. A 153, I'll take that. Take the next one to the left. Good. What time is it? Okay, 20 past 11. Thank you, Emma. Thank you so much for flying along.
Good night.
Gute Nacht. Mach's gut. And then hopefully see you Sunday, maybe. Sunday we'll have to see. Maybe there's an event on Sunday that we can join. On Ratsim or something. We'll see. Good, let's start the APU.
Scenery for here?
No, I don't think so. Just done it. Peter, good night. Peter, how? Oh, Peter, sorry, you wrote earlier on. I saw that you have a flu, Peter, you said? Fischkopf, mach's gut. Bis Sonntag. Schön, dich zu sehen. Yeah, my younger daughter just caught the flu as well. She's sick as well. Ja, gute Besserung, Peter. Gute Besserung. So then we'll have TCAS off as well. Radar, TWS, after landing check is complete. No, she's living on her own anyway, so she's not living at home anymore. Oh no, Peter. Then I wish you gute Besserung. Get well soon. Fabian, once again, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Fabian. Thank you so much. Beethoven, thank you so much also for your inputs. Appreciate that. Oh, and Beethoven, yeah, you sent me your information regarding India. Yeah, maybe we could do that on Sunday. As a group flight. Because that's also a challenging approach. Yeah, we love challenging approaches, right? APU bleed. Shut down the engines. Good night, Fabian. Then put the transponder off. Overhead panel. Beacon. Stops.
The boarding request.
I'll also say good night to all. Thanks, Captain Blackbox Ken, and thanks, Brynhild, for your planning.
Thank you so much, Jeremiah.
Night.
Thanks for flying along. And have a great weekend.
Good night to all.
Good night.
Oh, thanks.
Yep, I can second that. Thank you, Reynolds, for again making the briefing infos for today's group flight. And I will file the PyRep manually. Fuel is what? And then we have 2 more legs on the Ecuador tour. Yeah, Brendan, you said the next one is going to be longer, and then the last one is a very short flight.
Yes, it's almost 600 miles the next flight,
okay.
and then we have a 20 miles flight. But that's both interesting. There are interesting sceneries for both airports, and this is the Galapagos Islands, very famous one.
Okay, then I have to look for the sceneries.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Are you, do you have time on Sunday?
Yes, maybe at when we start at 2100 UTC, then would be okay. Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
But it's a long flight.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be better to begin a little bit earlier.
Yep. So if we take off at 21 Zulu, then that should work.
Yeah. Okay.
Excellent. Very nice. Cool, guys. Yeah, we're going to call it a night. Thank you so much for the resubs. Thank you so much for the support, guys. And my dear moderators, thank you so much for all the help. And it depends. So when you're bad, it depends. If you just use the toolbar on top, then as far as I understand, yes, you would just drag the app folder into the community folder in 2024. Then it should be here. The installation regarding the Flow Pro app, I would have to check again. But just for the toolbar here in Microsoft, it should be just a drag and drop, yes. Dankeschön, echter Drehstuhlpilot. Ja, Dankeschön, mach's gut. Cool. Alright. There we go, here we are. Safety park. Fantastic. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you again if you like on Sunday. Some more interesting approaches. When you're bad, yeah. So I've so much help from people here in the community. So big thanks goes to Senshai and also to Reynolds with the database here that he's maintained. Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to do this on my own. I wouldn't have the time and the knowledge to do that. So round of applause to everyone involved here. But I do appreciate your kind words, Winnie Bat. Much appreciated. Good. Take care, guys. Good night. Stay safe and stay well. See you soon.